Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Survivor Reignited. As always, joined by my side, my buddy MJ Duplessis, the Pro Wrestling Encyclopedia, soon to be the Survivor Encyclopedia because we're making him learn a whole lot really quick. But I am your friendly neighborhood dad hat wearing wrestling fan, reality TV show loving, big old fat teddy bear, or as I call myself, the Fat Ninja.
Yeah.
When I was doing loss prevention, people would always tell me, like, how'd you catch this? And I'm like, I'm a fat ninja. I'm big, but I'm stealthy.
That's great.
I'm a fat ninja. But anyway, we like to crack each other up. My goal every episode is to see how many times I can pop Michael. So that's my goal, usually always when I'm recording. So anyway, we are on the last 3 episodes of season 2 of Survivor, the Australian Outback. The jury has already started being formed. We've got Alicia, we've got Jerry, we've got Nick, and we've got Amber.
Yes.
What are we thinking of the jury so far?
Not shocked by any of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was like, and the people who are still in this game,
Yeah,
belong in the game still.
even Roger. Are you not surprised by Roger still being there?
See, Roger hasn't done anything physically.
No.
But his social game.
Oh,
him being the grandpa of the group, and he's being there for people on a mental level, and he's there to talk to. So I'm not shocked by that.
he's the opposite of Rudy.
Yeah. Yes. If you go back to season 1, he's actually being a kind, caring grandpa.
Not a fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I'm gonna end up being the Rudy of the two, as we were just talking about. But yeah, so we're on day 34 here in the Australian Outback. The final 5, they're still discussing the flood damage of the camp. And they think about, they're really talking about the family members at home. So they get to the reward challenge, which was very cool. Dated as hell in the year 2025.
Yeah, that was crazy. Just looking at people's houses, I was just
right. So the reward is,
this looks very 2001. It is crazy.
Yeah, it's the Survivor Cafe. They each get a pastry, and they're chatting online. Looks like AOL Instant Messenger. Shout out!
Absolutely.
If you were there, you were there. It was the best
By
of
the
times.
Way, I still use my AOL email.
Wow!
What fact?
Wow, that's shocking. You might be the only person I know that does that. But I'm gonna have a lot of comments now being like, I still use mine. Mine's like 40 years old. I can see it now in the comments. But they're chatting online, big ass computer, looks like one of those MacBooks or the big old Macs with the curves, and they're chatting online.
This is so outdated. I would not be shocked if it was an IBM.
It might have been, actually. Shout out to an IBM reference. But they're chatting online with their loved ones at home, and they're giving them trivia questions. And so their loved ones are technically the ones going to win or lose this for them. They each get to say hello to their loved ones, which is nice. It's the same as you got to see a little bit of the inside of who they were from the first season with the videotapes. This is a little bit of insight into them. Tina chats with her husband Dale and her kids. Elizabeth talks to her parents and her brother. Her mom shows that she doesn't know how technology works because she's like, what's going on there? And Elizabeth's like, I can't tell you. I got to send one message. Roger is saying hello to his wife and kids, and he's getting teary-eyed. Keith checks in with his girlfriend. Colby talks to his mother, and you really get that insight into because she just says hi baby, and he breaks down like big cowboy breaking down, showing that emotion. He says he's the youngest. I mean, he is the baby boy.
Yeah,
which I get that. I'm the baby boy.
Yeah, he the youngest of 3 brothers.
Yeah,
4 brothers, he said
it's a different relationship. but yeah, the loved ones get to answer questions. And Tina wins. So Tina gets to chat with her.
Finally wins a.
She didn't even win it. Her husband won it.
Facts.
So she gets to chat half an hour with him. That's not a long time because you're typing for most of that. But she also gets to like take the visa and go online and buy stuff for them. And Jeff is like, in 24 hours, it'll be there. And I'm like,
and like an early Amazon.
Kinda. Yeah.
But we get like the coolest moment, even though Kobe hates it, because
Keith. So they get to say, everybody gets to say goodbye to their loved one. And Keith types this paragraph, like long ass paragraph to his girlfriend. And it's like, I can only think of one thing as I was watching a shooting star go across the horizon. Because they call each other what, peas and carrots?
Yeah.
He proposes online to his girlfriend. Will you marry me, peas? And she's like, are you serious? And she says, yes. So I need to do my research. I want to know if they got married, if they're still married. I need to do some research on. Never thought I'd say I want to do research on Keith, but Keith. By the way, Keith never comes back.
Yeah. And Kobe was like, he did that on purpose. He wanted the.
Like, I ain't saying he's wrong, but I'm not saying he's not. Like, I can see both. Colby and Keith, when they get back to camp, they argue over rice. Keith and Colby.
This blow up was so entertaining.
Colby is done. Colby is hangry. He is tired. He is ready to get the fuck out of Australia.
Keith out here just ruining rice with like stupid experiments like rice cakes. Like, no one's asked for this, bro.
You have a couple of days left. Ration it out proportionally. Eat what you're gonna eat, and don't ruin it for anybody else. That's all you had one job.
The chef man was like, I want to be a chef still.
Yeah.
But not the time and place, my boy.
Like, but they're arguing over like, does it yield too much? Does it yield not enough? Like, I'm just like, eat the freaking rice. He has a quote. One of his quote is, "My game with Keith is done."
Yeah,
like he's done. I mean, I'm not a big Keith fan, but I can tell him. I can see him getting frustrated with Keith.
Yeah. But it's only with Keith. With everyone else, he's like, I'm chill, I'm good. Fucking Keith is. Kobe is treating Keith like Keith was treating Jerry.
Good point. For the immunity challenge, it's a throwback kind of to season 1. Just, you get a story of the history of the area and where they are. And then they have to kind of answer questions, run to stations and answer. It's the Survivor Witch Project again. Because that was
I'm so happy, unlike season 1, that everyone listened this time.
You don't get Rudy being like, no.
Yeah. Rudy not listening at all in season 1 pissed me off.
I thought it was funny. They have to run, but while they're doing this, they're also, because Australia was known for their early inhabitants being prisoners. And so they're shackled and handcuffed. And so they're having to run to get keys to unlock themselves.
Which I don't think they could do this episode in 2025.
I mean, you can't do the I don't know if you can do the show The Office in the year 2025. But we get a Colby win, but it almost wasn't, because Keith drops a lock and you have to cross the finish line with all your locks and chains.
That was, I felt bad for Keith in that situation.
He was close.
Especially with that blow up that happened. Like, you get yelled at by Kobe, and then Kobe beats you.
Yeah. Facts. But yeah, so close. So close. Can anyone else win a damn immunity challenge? Nope.
No. Nobody else can win a challenge, period.
Keith and Colby. Keith and Colby. Um,
We go to tribal counselor.
Yeah. Roger and Elizabeth, they're talking about how they know it's one of them.
Yeah.
Roger is very adamant, like, look, send me first.
Yeah.
I don't she needs the money more than I do, which is very selfless of him. I mean, he's very,
he very much took Elizabeth under
she's
his
not
wing.
she's not even his actual family, but he's treating her like family.
Yeah.
Roger, Roger. I mean, Roger is probably the nicest person to ever, one of the nice people to ever play Survivor.
Yeah, no, he was not. He didn't hurt a fly. Actually,
no.
Which I guess kind of fucked him over in the end.
Mm-hmm. At tribal council, Elizabeth and Roger, they talk about their special bond and how it's it's something special, like a father-daughter relationship. And that Roger states that Elizabeth has like great morals and great character, and she's just a good person. When the votes come out, their promise to Roger stays. They don't blindside him and vote out Elizabeth. They vote out Roger. Roger says goodbye. Elizabeth is heartbroken. So now we get Roger on the jury. Like the moral compass has reached the jury. I would think here. Like I don't know. Like luckily to me, so far looking at the jury, we talked about before on another episode a bitter jury. Like Jerry probably being that one that's more that bitter jury member. Amber, maybe if Jerry pulled her in the right direction. But as of right now, could kind of be a pretty fair jury, even though 90% of it is Kucha members, and everybody left is now Ogakor except for Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So when you got here, did you think Elizabeth had a chance to get to the end, or you were just patiently waiting for her to be gone?
Oh, I was patiently waiting for her to get eliminated.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. At this point, I'm like, I could tell, okay, who's going to be the final two, final three. Like, this is the writing was on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're on day 37. We're on the next episode. She's the last Kucha we mentioned.
And she's missing Roger like none other. I kind of felt bad for the girl.
Yeah, she talks about the little heart rock that he gave her at the beginning of the season. It was like, you give that to your boyfriend when you get home. I love the reward challenge because it's a combination of several different challenges. Like, did you learn from your mistakes for the most part? And an awesome prize. You win a new car, a meal,
I have not
and
seen a
shower.
Pontiac Aztec in so long.
Well, you saw it at the end of season 1. You saw Richard get into one.
Yeah, but it was just like around this era, though. Like I don't. Do they even make those anymore?
I don't think so. My mom had one. We owned one. I'm pretty sure it was the exact that yellow color. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But I mean, yes, you win a car, but you get a meal and you get a shower. I mean, I feel at this point I'd be like, just give me the damn shower.
Which is funny because Kobe wins. He said the shower was his least favorite part.
No, he said it was his most favorite. Oh. He said he thought the shower was going to be his least favorite, ended up being his most favorite.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff goes with him because he said there's enough food for 2. And then here comes the person who brings out the food to Colby, and it's his mom. And the reaction is great. He's just like, oh, like it's almost like one of those like, I don't know what I just saw, but I'm already picking you up and holding you. So I hope you're my mom. Like,
yeah. And she seems like the sweetest lady.
Yeah, I mean, she's
the older Southern Texas mother. The only issue I had with this whole sequence, in season 1, we had that weird video.
Sean
Sean and his relationship with his sister.
Mm-hmm.
And that video that was creepy.
Well, that was Greg. That was Greg.
Yeah, Greg. That's what I'm talking about.
Sean's dad won when they went on the yacht and he didn't know anything.
What I'm getting at is like you had that weird incestuous moment of like Greg and his sister. Kobe's mom videotaping or taking pictures while he's taking a shower was weird to me.
I think it's more of the look. Here's for you to remember. You were in Australia, standing in a shack, taking a shower.
Like you could have done that in so many other moments. Like let the man take a shower in peace.
I get where you're coming from, but I also see the other side of it at the same time.
Yeah, but I was like, dude.
As a parent, like I'm just like, if there's a moment where I'm like, my son will never ever do this ever again, like click, like it's, so yes, he wins the Pontiac Aztec. He gets a meal. They stay the night in the Pontiac Aztec. We get to the next day, and they find a scale waiting for them at Tree Mail. And I know you hated this in the first season about like how much weight they've lost, and
I felt so bad for Tina and Elizabeth.
They say that between all of them, they've lost 85 pounds.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth's comment of, we lost a third grader.
Yeah.
And
Elizabeth hair's falling out.
Yep.
I was very badly. Like, this is not. I'm starting to question the morality of this show here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's rough. And to think it gets rougher because eventually you get dropped off, you get nothing.
Yeah. That's where I almost messaged you like, I'm questioning the creators of this because this is like the loss of hair. Like, that's not a good sign.
No, it's not. She's one of the worst, like in Survivor history of like how bad it hit her. Colby's mom comes back to camp.
This was the sweetest moment ever.
Yeah, she gives them care packages from their families.
Elizabeth fell in her arms and broke down crying.
Yeah, it's a sense of home. Yeah, it's a sense of the United States. It's a sense of, something familiar. Even though you don't know this person, it's something familiar.
And I was like, oh, that was adorable.
The immunity challenge is a game that it was made for my children's age. But on Survivor,
I had matching games as a kid.
A memory game. Yep.
Yes. I had multiple.
We still do. It's a deck of cards and it's different Disney characters, and you have to match the Disney characters.
That's awesome.
By the way, Disney, if you would like to sponsor us, I will never say no to that. And yes, please.
Yeah.
I got married at Disney and we vacation there often, so I will gladly sponsor you. I'll be down there in a couple weeks. Why do you think we're filming so much stuff today?
Wait.
I'm trying to record as much as I can, so the week I'm gone, it's stuff's already just uploading, and I'm on vacation. But yeah, memory game, flipping over flipping over these little covers, and there's like wooden kangaroos and
different Australian things.
Yeah, bones
and instruments from Australia.
And once again, Colby wins. But the funny thing is, he's like, you uncovered it. Do you remember where it is? He's like, I do not. But he lucks into it and he wins. Writing's on the wall here. I mean, you knew Elizabeth was going to be the one to go.
Yeah.
I hate it for her because it would have been cool to see her kind of fight through and come out on the other end. But she's gone. She even says she says that none of them want her in the final two because, of course, look at the jury. It's mostly all Kucha people. They would all vote for Elizabeth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we are down to our final three. We are down to Keith and Colby and Tina, and it is so weird to think like this was the tribe that was losing. Everything for the most part.
They flipped that switch at merge, and one guy kind of ran with it.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we are on to our final episode. Did this season go faster for you than the first one?
It did.
Because there's a lot more happening.
Yeah. It was way more entertaining.
We're going to get to seasons coming up where you're going to tell me, like, okay, we need to record now because, like, I got to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at the final. We're at the final 3. Day 40. They're in the home stretch, as Keith says.
I had, like, I'm trying to figure out the words, but they create these totems.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. We got to get to the rite of passage ceremony.
Yeah, and then them throwing things into the water felt a little disrespectful.
Sure, this season's also 20-something years old now, man.
I know, but it was just
24.
like good.
I mean, it's. I think that Colby sums it up very well, because Colby is very much, look, I came out here to play, I came out here to win $1 million, and I came here to go home. Like, but he talks about how, like, making the totem, you know, didn't really realize how much he took from the land.
Yeah,
and he wants to give
like
back.
I understood the reason for the thing, but it's just like, you know, I hope no like local people find that and be like, "Hey, what the fuck is this?"
I'm sure I bet they got it and they gave it back to them to keep as a souvenir.
Yeah, true,
I would
probably.
Of course, like the first season, this eventually stops. But they pass by the torches of their fallen comrades.
The music, this was the corny as F.
So I told you I used to have season 1, 2, and All Stars on DVD. And I would get to this part and fast forward.
I am not going to lie, I did. I was like, okay, this whole walking down the thing, the music, I'm like, okay, it's not waste the time.
Yep. Well, they get to their final tribal council. They're in front of the jury. And that's also where they get the final immunity challenge. And it's a trivia contest about the former cast members.
Yeah.
And Colby wins again for his 5th. I need to look it up, but I'm pretty sure he fit 5 in a row is the highest amount, but there's a select few that are in that 5 total in the season.
I think that's what I read too as I was doing some research.
5
or 6.
Now he might be an elite class that was 5 in a row, but
Yeah.
like I'm pretty sure there's some in seasons that have won or they've won 5, but they've played multiple seasons. Like and it's. Did you think it was going to be Tina and him, or did you think that he was going to flip and send?
Oh heck no! I knew it was going to be Tina and him. He made that promise to Tina like way early on.
Yeah.
Kobe seems like a loyal man.
Yeah. So Keith is gone. Keith gets to go and eventually get home to his peas.
Yeah.
With his carrot. I got you there.
You did. That was well played.
I told you, ladies and gentlemen, my job is to make this man laugh. So we get to day 42, the final day of Survivor of the Australian Outback. Something I think this happens on more than one season, if I remember correctly, but Tina and Colby kind of started it. They set their camp on fire.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like, that makes sense.
And they also started kind of a trend. I feel like I remember them doing this for a while, but then it stopped. The winner also gets the flag from the season.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, yes, the winner should get the flag. But part of me is like, the second place should get it because the winner gets the $1 million. But I see both. They get to their final tribal council. Tina is very blunt. Tina says that she says everything that I would want to say. I hope you base it on strategy and not whether you get your feelings hurt.
Which Jerry did not.
No. Jerry's just bitter. In this moment, at least. I'm a fan of Jerry, and like I like when she comes back, but in this moment, no. Colby states that he's not necessarily better than Tina, but that he did pretty well for himself, is how he describes it. The juries get to ask questions. Roger asks if he gets to when they were unethical. Colby's answer was, very much had a lot of Jerry and Amber, like a couple of times. Amber asked what 3 things got Tina and Colby to the final 2. Colby says endurance, water, and relaxation. And Tina says strategy, Colby, and heart. That's true. I don't think Colby was not there that Tina would have made it to the final.
No, heck no.
No. Of course, somebody always asks, Amber asks also, like, what they're going to do with the money when they win. Colby's a very, like, I'm going to buy a Harley, take care of my parents. Like, Tina's going to pay off a house and do some charity work. Like, I hate that question because, like,
yeah,
if you say you're going to give it to charity, people will go like, yeah, right, you're going to give them but if people say, oh, I'm going to take care of my family, okay, now you're just being selfish. Like, there is no right answer to that.
No, never at all.
Like, I hate that question on any reality show.
I hate that question when it gets asked on Big Brother. Like, it's none of your business what I do with the money.
Elizabeth asked them to name 2 jury members who least deserve to win. Tina says Jerry and Roger, which is the Roger one surprised me, but I'm assuming it's more just because he's older, he's well established. Colby picks Jerry and Keith.
Yeah.
Keith asked about a time when manipulation came into play. Alicia wants to know Tina and Colby's least proudest moments.
And then there's a question about Michael.
Yep. Nick asks, like, that, I mean, Mike probably would have made it to the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, or if the biggest what if is like who would have, it depends on that immunity challenge.
Very much so.
Because the thing is this, if they had still lost and they went into that merge, even with Michael still there, and they found out about Jeff, and Jeff was gone, they're still down. So now it would have made it more difficult for Colby to win that necklace every time. That's the big what if. Jerry's last. Wants to know if they want to apologize to anyone. Tina says she's apologized to Kale because she was one who rifled through the backpack looking for the jerky early on. Colby apologizes to Elizabeth and Roger and Alicia for voting them out, playing that political game. And Jerry's angry and sits down. Yeah. Roger, Nick, Amber vote for Colby. Jerry and Alicia vote for Tina. And then you don't get to see Elizabeth and Keith. We get the first of many here, where Jeff does not read the votes live like he did in the first season.
Yeah.
I used to think this was the most awesome thing ever, because every year it's like, as you'll see, because he continues to do this for several seasons, the journey from wherever they are back to the studio in New York or LA or wherever they have it gets more grandiose and epic every time. So I always love that. But Jeff is going to take the votes, seal them, and they're going to be read live in front of a studio audience when they get back to the States. Do you know how pissed off I would be if I played this game?
Oh,
and then I had to wait
angry
months to find out like whether or not I won. I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. But I get it. It's the suspense thing. But yes, so you see this video package of Jeff getting from Australia back to New York, LA.
LA.
Yeah, it's LA this time.
The CBS studios are in LA.
Yeah. And they've kind of recreated the whole tribal council area on the sounds or on the stage. Colby and Tina are even dressed. It's clean, but they're dressed in what they were wearing there to make it look like it just was, clean shaven.
You can tell Colby's gained weight. He's a big boy.
He's eating. His mom even said she's going to fatten him up.
He looked way thicker, and I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely months ahead of time or behind it.
We get the reading of the votes. And your winner for the second season of Survivor, the Australian Outback, Tina.
I loved this moment, not because I did think Tina probably deserved it, but like Kobe's reaction to Tina winning was amazing.
Yeah, he's cheering. He did. I think both of them, they didn't care who won. But
Yeah.
to me, I'm just like, I remember when I first saw this season, I was like, look at everything Colby did.
Yeah.
Like Tina played, but maybe it's just I think she played more in the edit doesn't show. And yeah, social game's a big word. The edit doesn't show enough of what she did to win.
Yeah,
the players got to see. Yeah, because I mean, but I remember being like, Tina. Like I love it now, like rewatching it and everything. But I still think that Colby probably, like with everything he did.
Yeah, rewards and challenge wise, yeah.
Yeah, like, but I'm not mad that Tina won. I don't. Colby did, like in this season, Colby did everything.
He did.
Immunity, rewards, strategy, like, yeah, for this season. Now he comes back, and I can't say the same for other seasons, but I think he plays 2 or 3 more times. But he's on season 50 that just got announced.
Yeah.
So he's coming back to play 24 years later. The next 2 times he plays, Jerry is also there.
That's hilarious.
Yep. Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts? We're at the end of Survivor, the Australian Outbacks. Talk to me a little bit about, season 1 versus season 2. Talk to me about your highs, your lows, what you liked, what you didn't like. Talk to me about.
Season 2 was way more entertaining than season 1.
Yep.
And the gameplay is someone I'm a big fan, as someone who's a big fan of the challenge and the Big Brother. I love gameplay. I love sneaky situations behind the scenes where people are talking to each other and strategizing. So this was way more entertaining and way fun.
Just wait.
I know. I'm excited. I've actually become a Survivor fan. And we're only 2 seasons in.
Just wait. The next season is... to me, the next season... The next season addresses so many different things. Because I'm already kind of a couple episodes in. I'm like 2 or 3 episodes in. Well, I didn't know if we were going to... Because we're recording a couple different episodes today, if we were going to get that far. But the next season, it's going to talk a little bit about, the difference. It talks more about things that we've already talked about in terms of like, older generation, younger generation, race and religion, homosexuality and heterosexuality. Like these all get brought up within the span of your first 2 and 3 episodes. Like,
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. I'm excited for you to see the immunity challenge in episode 2. I sent you a message because I forgot about it, because you're going to message me and just be like, what the hell, man? So I can't wait for that to talk. But we're going for the next season, Survivor Season 3, Africa. So different. There is no water around them. They don't have a river or a lake or the beach. It is desolate. Their water source is the local latrine and water source that the animals use. Like it is nothing. It is barren. But you get some Survivor characters that I love. Like it is so, but then you also get some that are so forgettable that like I'm watching it now and I'm like, oh, I forgot about you. Oh, I forgot about you.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's 2 ends of the spectrum. You get great characters and you get ones you don't even care about. So we'll leave it at that. That episode will be coming out soon. We'll start season 3. But before we go, Mike, let them know what you got going on, where they can find you.
MJ DePustis on all social media platforms. Every Monday night, me and the Ring Queen Michaela and the Pro Wrestling Wizard Doug, we watch Monday Night Raw live, Netflix and Raw. You got my new show. I will be filming some episodes here probably this week. Inner Circle with Wheels, and Queen's Court stuff. Hopefully we get some stuff filmed for that soon with my brother Husky Harris and the Tribal Queen Bree Stout. Thank y'all. Have a good day.
You can find me, DadHat Wrestling, at all social medias. You can find World Championship Wreckage, all social medias. You can find us all here for everything pro wrestling related and everything else that we're doing here on World Championship Wreckage. Please like and subscribe. Leave us comments. We want to interact with you guys. We love seeing the interaction. We want to respond. We want to bring that up here on the shows. You can find us on our own TikTok page, Survivor Reignited. Thank you guys for the growth in that. We'll be back next episode for the start of Survivor Season 3, Africa. See you guys later.